Happy New Year and welcome to the Fit the Description channel, which this is actually our clips channel. But I know this video is pretty long and let me explain to you why. It is because I wanted to take the time because I'm sure some of y'all only probably listen to the clips channel. So I wanted to give you a chance to hear at least a segment of the full podcast so you can check it out for yourself. So before that, I wanted to take the time to let y'all know if you want to get the full episodes, I will leave a link down below so you can go to the main page and check out the full episodes of the Fit the Description podcast over there on OPN, the Opinion Piece Network, which I will also link that tag down below too. And I also want to tell you a couple more things real quick before we go ahead and start the entire segment. After the release, I guess I will call this a special. After the release of this one, we will actually have one more, chapter left, which will be coming out next week. So make sure to check that out because we actually respond to one of your comments. So make sure to check out that chapter. Now, with that being said, just so you know, after that one, we're going to be gone until either February 4th or February 11th. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, we're going on break. But because we're doing that, we're going to do a couple of things just so you know. One, we are actually on the Wisdom app now, and sometimes I take the time just to share my thoughts and talk about things to give you a little bit of what's going on with the channel and the podcast. So if you want to check that out, make sure to go to OPN over there on the Wisdom app. I will link that down below. Also, just so you know, we are on pretty much almost all the podcast platforms. So if you want to get our podcast on audio platforms only, I'll leave all the links to all the podcast platforms that you can find us down below. And also, just so you know, all those podcasts are at a delay. So be aware you're not going to get the current episodes. If you want to get the current episodes, you got to go to the OPN page here on YouTube. Again, that will be linked down below. Lastly, before I go, I just want to let you know that this month, because we are going to be away, I'm also going to take the time to work on a Patreon. So Patreon made some changes and seemed like they made it easier to upload content there. So I'm going to try that out and start uploading content. So if you want to get exclusive cut content episodes that we had to cut from episodes for various different reasons, or we're actually going to release exclusive content on there that we're going to try out. And before we might release it on the main channel, we don't know yet. That's why we're going to put on the Patreon. So if y'all want to get that exclusive content and get basically see some stuff that we're trying out before anybody else or before we hit the green light and go, well, check out the Patreon. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put a lot of exclusive content behind there, and we're also going to start putting cut content episodes. So that's something that we're going to start working on in January. Again, it's going to be slow because we're still trying to figure things out, but that will start being worked on in January. So in January, we will start putting content up there. So make sure to check that out. And beyond that, I just want to say that this segment that I'm putting out, and we're also going to put the opening so you know exactly who we are. This is currently only going to be released here on the Clips channel and on the podcast platforms as a thanks. So this, for now, is exclusive to y'all. So that's the only two places that you're going to get this podcast on New Year's. I don't know if we're going to release on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, but you'll know once you hear it. But anyways, with that being said, I want to thank y'all. Again, this is going to be a long one. If you listen to this on a clip channel, you're probably not used to this long form content. But again, this is just a taste of the podcast. So, and trust me, I just wanted to get this important topic out. But outside of that, make sure to go to the main channel and check out the full episodes. It gets a lot crazier, a lot more funnier, and a lot more serious, and sometimes it's just good conversation. So once again, I want to thank y'all for checking out this episode, and yeah, make sure to go down below, check out all the links, and make sure to subscribe to the main channel so you get full episodes of the Fit the Description podcast. Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast, where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, culture, entertainment, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various Black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got B.
What's up, y'all?
And we'll probably have some other people coming on later. Oh, and real quick, I want to just say shout out to Keys. He had to leave because he was ill. So I just want to say shout out to him and hopefully he feels better. With that being said, do me a favor when you're coming in, make sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to build this channel, we're trying to build this community. And, you know, for us to build it, y'all got to subscribe to it. So do us a favor, help us build what we're trying to build here. Also, just so you know, if you're listening to this on the audio platforms, you are at a delay. But if you want to get the current episodes, you got to come to YouTube OPN. Also, make sure to check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description podcast on YouTube, and you'll get smaller form factors of the podcast itself. Beyond that, I just want to say thank y'all for checking our podcast out, and we'll go ahead and get started with the podcast. The first thing I want to talk about, and actually me and Keys have actually talked about this on a couple of times, and I wanted to bring this up one more time because I kind of look more into it. And actually, let me let you respond because, like I said, I've already talked about it multiple times. AI art. I want to know what you think about it and how do you feel about it?
Oh, AI art. Okay.
Yes.
I think it's dumb. I don't know. I just feel like it just grabbing a whole bunch of pictures. I don't even know if the AI is even doing it, or is it just grabbing a whole bunch of pictures on the internet and and getting things that closely resemble what you're trying to do. But to me, it's dumb. I can see someone, taking advantage of this whole thing and trying to make and actually create a name for himself doing it. But to me, it's just like, why? you know, I'm guessing, for the, I guess you could say the common folks, I can see them enjoying something like that. For me, but for me, it's just like, I'm good. Just the joy comes from actually creating something, and using my own two hands to create it. That's the whole point of all this. That's where the joy comes from. So just this is stupid. It's dumb. So
Yeah, so you don't see any inherent problems with it.
Problems, I mean, not really. Like I said, this from what I haven't tried it, nor will I try it, but from looking at other people, they just say, AI can you show me a portrait of this person, and an image shows up. Now, the only problem I could definitely see is if the AI is actually grabbing other people's work and claim and it's claiming it that the AI did it. That I can see that actually being a problem for us artists, because it's like, wait, hold on, I created that, right? The AI stole it. That's my work. So if the AI is actually stealing other people's artwork, I can see that actually being a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But do I see it running? Do I see it in a sense where is gonna run any throw us regular artists to the curb? Nah, no, not
Are
at
you reading
all.
the screen?
AI generated a picture, won an art prize. artists aren't happy. Yeah, like I said, like, do we know that the AI actually created that? Do we know that that art piece actually came from somebody? You know, who knows? So
It's,
I can see why the artists are being mad. I'm just reading it. Just reading
I
about
know,
it
and
right
that's why
now.
I'm giving you a chance to read it real quick. Just trying to
Okay,
see what this.
so he won using he won using AI. That shouldn't be qualified for him to win because he didn't actually do it. It's the computer, you know. So I can definitely see why people are that enter into that contest are definitely mad. Um, so if that's the case, then this whole AI art thing that needs to be its own category. Which AI bot can yeah, so that the whole AI bot thing that actually needs to be its own category. Then, if you can't allow something like that to win when that's not part of the requirements to win. You know, is if that contest was painting and or whatever, the person who decided to just throw in create an art piece using an application. Like come on, man. Come on. So that can't happen. That needs to be his own category. It has to be his own category. you know. But like I said, I'm still new to all this AI art stuff. Like I said, I gotta figure out how it works in general. Um,
Okay,
the,
so you're not
huh?
well, so you're not well informed on it yet, basically.
Well, like I said, I don't know. Like even though that article said, well, it did it through a line of text. Well, to me, that could just be coding, right?
Mhm.
That doesn't really mean anything to me. So I still don't know how this the AI comes together and actually forms an image.
Mhm.
You know, so when you said it want to do a line of text, so what do you uh, like
Mhm.
I said, do you coded all that in? Yeah, so I just see a whole bunch of artwork, but I still don't know where all this artwork came from. Like I said, there's no way to identify if that's work from the AI or did it take the artwork from the actual original artist. Round four, stop hiding. Round four, stop hiding. Round five, I don't know what none of that means. No to AI generated images. No to AI generated.
So, I guess I'll expand with. I guess I'll expand it to you, and there's a reason why I'm showing you all that.
Mm-hmm.
What basically that is, all those AIs. That's what I'm trying to show you, and so that's why I said as an artist, it's kind of funny that you're nonchalant. I think you're one of outside of me. I think you're the only other person I hear that's kind of nonchalant about it. But right now, that AI that you're seeing is a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of artists around the world starting to protest
Yeah.
because you're seeing that it's just code, it's just taking part. But what almost every artist is seeing around the world is that their jobs and their ability to make money it's in jeopardy. That's why if you go back, I'm thinking it was the last episode we brought it out. Um, I think it's last episode that me and Keith talked about. I want to say that, but he was not happy about it at all.
All
And
right.
a lot of people right now. So what you're seeing there is a bunch of artists right now that are out there protesting AI art and saying that they don't like it at all because it honestly does put put artists' ability to make money in jeopardy. Because now the fact that you could just go in, type in some words, and make an art piece, well, what does that mean for artists?
I mean, I mean, image manipulation has always been there. That's the whole thing with Photoshop and anything else. There's a whole bunch of applications that can make me look like anime characters and or whatever that's been there. So this whole AI thing is nothing new.
But you're talking about image
Uh,
manipulation. AI is creating art from basically scratch or basically learning from other artists and creating something brand new.
yeah, supposedly, like I said, I don't know what's going on behind it. Supposedly,
You
but
can't,
regardless, if it's image manipulation, if it's from scratch or whatever, it's the same damn thing. Is if you say turn me into if you tell AI turn me into an anime character and then you let an anime character, or if you just put your image inside a application and make you look like an anime character, that has always been there. You know, so I have no if AI if if it does if it actually does what it actually do, then okay, I have no problem with that. As just the thing is, just put it into its own category, though. You know, um, and that should fix it. That should be its own category. Uh, and then because our art comes in many different ways, shapes, and form. You know, uh, uh, I can't hate on the person who came up with this concept and created it. It is what it is. Um, but there's also room to art where the art world is vast. There's room for everybody. I went to Designer Con not too long ago. I saw about I saw about 300 different styles of Darth Vader. you know, and there's always gonna be someone who enjoy that type of art style. I don't care if it's AI. I don't care if someone draws it. There's so many different type of art styles out there. No one. I'm not seeing this helping. I'm not seeing this in taking jobs away from people. No, because if you have an art style and people enjoys it, they're always going to be there to show appreciation of that art style. Hell, you can look at freaking video games; they all look the same to me nowadays. There's nothing unique about most of the video games out there. They all look alike, but you know, there's always someone out there to enjoy wherever that's particular art style of that game. There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing original. All those AI art pieces out on there, it looked like it was drawn for someone else, and there's someone else that can draw like that, and he's always gonna, and there's always gonna be someone who's gonna appreciate that shit. So yeah, man. For all these artists out there, you know, don't be mad. Can't be mad at the person who put this together. Can't be mad at that stuff. You know, and now that's just making it. That's just making us look bad as artists. We can't appreciate other people's artwork, even if it's just AI. So I'm not worried at all. I'm just not a fan. I'll never use AI. Not a fan of it like that. But you know, I can appreciate it. Yeah. So, well, that's me though. You know, it's just me.
But no, I mean, I'll say this much because, like I said, I've already talked about this on here. So if you want to get my take, you can listen to an earlier podcast. I'll just say this much that I'm like I said, I've already talked about it earlier. So I'm just gonna I'm not even gonna touch on it. I mean, my fault.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, and like I said, if we're gonna have contests, keep AI stuff on the separate contest, and I think that will fix that whole issue when it comes to contests. Have AI have its own category. You put AI artwork in its own category in the contest. I think it should be. I think it'll be perfectly fine. Um,
Mhm. Okay, so yeah, so again, if you want to get more of my thoughts, yeah, look at an earlier episode because I did talk about it in the earlier episodes. But
mhm.
I'll just say this just to add on to what I was saying last time because I did have a little bit more time to really think about it. So I guess I'll go ahead and just expand upon it. And yeah, that was my kind of my first idea is keep AI art in its own category. But if people are so worried about it, I came up and I'll expand it with some things that I was thinking about. I would say some laws that could be implemented. It's what I think that you can do. Now, whether you agree or
Happen to.
yeah, whether you agree or disagree, it's fine. Like I said, this is just my idea, but I'm just gonna put this out there, just so it's out there, and then y'all can figure do with it as you will. But here's what I'll say. I'll break each one down. I think how many did I write down? Five or six? Okay, I think I wrote down seven. So here we go. Number one, you have no copyright protections to AI art. And what I mean by that basically you can't copyright it. So if it's out there, it's out there. Number two, any characters or art that is designed using AI art instantly becomes public domain. Meaning once you create it, anybody can use it.
Uh-huh.
Number three, if you sell a product using AI art and a third party uses the same AI art to promote their stuff, by basically taking your AI art, you are liable because you created the AI art and you decided to use that as a product. And I actually put that in there because it actually protects artists to make sure that they get jobs. So basically, since anyone can take the AI art generated and use it wherever they want to, well, guess what? Because you didn't hire somebody and you get the protections and they use it, yes, you are at fault as the company for going ahead and doing AI art and somebody else utilizing it and selling a defective product. It falls on you because you use AI art to mislead the public. So that's on you.
Yeah.
The next thing I put on there is you can use AI generated art for promotion, which is totally fine. I think you should be allowed to, but there's no protection, meaning that if you want to use it for promotions, you can, but everybody else has a right to use that art too.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one, if you use AI to create an art piece, no matter what it is, you must notify somehow that this was made using AI digital art.
Right.
The only exception to that, to me, is if you're using it as an aspect or part of it, then okay, you don't necessarily have to because it's not the full image. You're just adding on to it. That's fine.
Right.
And to
Right.
expand on that, the other thing I wrote is if you're using AI art as an aspect of your artwork, then your artwork is protected outside of the AI art pieces. So, like for example, and I'll admit to you because you don't know this, but I did say this on an older podcast. I actually do use AI art because to me, I find it as a really great tool to create the icons for the Clips channel. Because honestly, I'm not an artist, I don't have time to draw. So I could go in there, do it, and get it done. But understand, I don't use that cell or whatever. But sometimes I just need to get something designed to kind of say something just to like say what I want to say, because I can't always find the pictures. And also, yes, I do have to deal with copyright issues, but again, I'm not using it to sell whatever. I'm just using it as an icon, and then I put our logos on it. But again, I use that art piece as a tool and as a piece, but I don't really use it to like sell or promote or consider or call myself an artist. It just kind of shortcuts the process because I can't afford an artist right now. I can't put an artist on a payroll. So for me, it just helps out when I create specific icons. So that's what I use it for. So that's why I say, like, if you're using it as an aspect, then I think it's fine. But if you're utilizing it to create a full art piece, that's where I cross the line. But that's just what I believe. So that's just what I came up with. If you have anything you want to add to it, because I'll be honest with you, I personally think that trying to fight it probably ain't gonna work. But actually putting laws in place to protect people who are making money, I think that's a better route to go. So that's just me, because I'm gonna be honest with you, things like this, even if it gets outlawed, there's always gonna be some place that's gonna allow it, and you're never gonna get rid of it. So the best that you can do, in my personal opinion, at, if you're part of the art world, is to fight for laws to give artists protections. That's what I believe. But that's just me.
That works.
Mm.
I like that.